So this question is asking us to evaluate the integral, and it's y, e, and the nth degree is x and y, dx, dy. The bounds happen to just be similar to one another. Okay, so here's the thing. The first thing you kind of have to remember is that this is a composition function right here, this whole thing. So when you see composition functions, think u sub. And with u sub, we change the bounds. So we have 0 and 1 right now. For both of them, it will look different. So let's go ahead and set it up. What I like to do is, so you work from the inside out, right? So when you have multiple integrals, you work from the inside out. What I like to do is I like to put a little parentheses around this. And I'll just extract just what I have in that parentheses. Right, so it's more manageable, and then we'll capture the rest of it as we go down. So this is what I have. It's way easier to handle. So it's composition function, right there. So let's go ahead and set it up. I like to set it up by, well, let me go ahead and do u first. Well, should I do? Okay. This is what I have set up. We're going to do u sub dx, right? That's my u. So what is u? U is what's on the inside of that parentheses. Well, there's like an invisible parentheses right here, right? And we are going to solve with respect to x, right? So I am going to have du become 1 for x, and we're going to keep y, dx. And then I have dx, which I'm basically just isolating. It's going to be du over y. All I did is take this and then isolate dx. Now we got to remember change the bounds. I've been known to forget to do that. So how do we change the bounds? You just take whatever is inside u, and then you take the bounds that we're using, which is right here. Right? So we're going to do a 1 and we're going to do a 0. So what is that going to look like? Oh, the x is going to be replaced. Oh, that's a 0. So we're going to do 1 and y, which just leaves me with y. And then we're going to put a 0 in where the x is with y, and that gives me a 0. Those are my new bounds. What does that look like? It looks like this. Where's the y? It's going to be at the top. 0 is at the bottom. And then we had y, e, u. dx right here, well, we already determined what dx is. It's going to be du over y, right? So that's my setup. I changed the bounds. I threw a u in there, and then I replaced dx with what I developed right here with my bookkeeping in the corner. So what do I do now? Well, it looks like I can get rid of that y, which is perfect, right? So what do I end up with? I end up with this right here. E, and then u, and then du. So here's a trick to remember. When you have du hanging out, we just have it living there, right? It hasn't disappeared yet. When you see that at that point, you're going to go ahead and find the integral, right? So EU is going to stay EU. It just happens to, E is kind of, sometimes it's kind of easy to work with. So we have E, and then we're going to do the bounds, which is y and 0, right? So y and 0. What does that get me? Well, maybe we should erase this. I want to keep it all on one page. I feel like that would be useful for us, right? So now we're going to do E, y minus E, 0. So when you have anything risen to the power of 0 is going to be 1, right? So what do I have? I have E, y minus 1. So I'm basically done with that part. Like if it was just one integral, this would literally be my answer. But what's up is we have 2, right? So I got to bring the second part in. Remember the little second guy right here? We got to mess with that now. So it's 1 and 0, and then I just bring this down, which is, let's see, I have e to the y to the 1 dy, right? Now we're messing with this with respect to dy. So what do I have? Let's see, I'm going to end up with e y minus y, right? We're finding the integral, so with 1 it turns into y, with 1 and 0. Let's go ahead and fill it out. I have e1 minus 1 minus e0 minus 1. Minus 0. Minus 0. Minus 0. Because it's y. So what does that give me? It gives me e1, which I guess is just e1 minus, anytime there is anything risen to 0, it's going to be 1 minus 0. So what does that give me? It gives me e minus 1 minus 1, because we got rid of that 0. And it gives me e minus 2, right? If you take this, it becomes negative 2. So this is my final answer right here. If you put it into a calculator, it gives you this number right here. So these are both correct. Both of these are the correct answer. Okay, I hope this video helped. Okay, thanks guys. Bye.